Well, hello and welcome, people of the internet, back to Soulstone Survivors. I've been playing this game a lot the past couple days. I've been trying to unlock a bunch of stuff. So we have a bunch of new characters that we've unlocked. Really, it's just these bottom five that I haven't unlocked. And I've been doing a lot of progress, right? Our Barbarian is up to level 115, and the Arcane Weaver, who we're going to be playing today, I've been enjoying a lot. And we have a kind of different build than the past couple that we've tried that we're gonna hopefully highlight today. We're gonna be going in, while I do have all the weapons unlocked, we're gonna be starting just with our regular base weapon here. We're gonna be playing with arcane missiles. So let's take a look at my other progress here, just to give you guys some context of kind of what I've unlocked so far. As far as runes go, runes are kind of slow going. A lot of them have to do with the skill tree. The skill tree is where there is the most progress being made. So I finally unlocked everything in the center, which actually didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. Once you start getting up to higher level curses, you can spawn in more bosses, and so rather than, you know, at the beginning where you're just getting one of these corrupted soulstones each boss wave, you start getting up to 4, and it goes a lot quicker. But you do need, red is definitely kind of choked. You need a lot of red. I think more than anything, you need a lot of red. Luckily, it is the first one that drops, so you can kind of just go in, get them, die, and then, you know, leave, and then come back, and then do it all over again. But yeah, so basically, once you get through this middle ring, kind of like I thought, basically, there's going to be different areas here for specific characters, and really cool thing, they also include a new kind of mechanic to all the characters. So, for example, with the Barbarian can now earn Rage by killing enemies, being able to become enraged, receiving major improvements, which I think is, if I remember correctly, is a damage modifier, a move speed modifier, and a multicast modifier. Maybe it might be crit. I think Arcane, I think that might be the Arcane Weaver. But basically, every level above level 20, you're going to get the availability to put a point into the tree. So right now there's 0 because I've spent them all. But for example, if I were to take this character who's currently level 95, if I took him to 96, or took her to 96, I'd be able to put one more point into this tree. So right now, even if I wanted to, for example, I have the resources to do this. You don't have enough skill points, so you can't put any more in. But this is where you get a lot of your runes. You can see there's 3 runes in the center tree here. As well as the new mechanic. So with the Arcane Weaver, we're going to have mana infusion. So there's going to be mana crystals that show up every once in a while. As long as you step over them, you gather that mana. And then once you reach 100% of your mana, it starts to drain and you get some massive bonuses. So yeah, now we're starting to work on individual characters and kind of work them out. There are also these little like purple highlighted nodes which apply the stats to all of your characters, so it's not just each individual character. So with that being said, let's take a look at our runes here. Really, for the most part, for this build, these aren't really specific. They're just kind of the best ones that I have so far. So we have Divine Legacy every 25 levels. You're going to be presented with legendary power-ups. Really good, considering that we can lock in all 3 of them and just take them over the course of 3 levels. We have Focus Fire, which is going to increase all our damage by 30%, but decreases the area of all your shields by 15%. With the ability or the skill we're going to be using in this, it doesn't really matter that area drop, but the extra damage is going to be very nice. We have Sure-Footed just to take a little bit less damage, although now having unlocked the, is it the Legionnaire, I think? Yeah, having unlocked the Legionnaire, getting up to level 20, I have Shield Wall now, which allows me to get a little bit more armor power, which I didn't have before a couple games ago. So now I have the skill mastery for Thrust, which is going to allow us to get this power up. And I also just have skill mastery Electric in here just to have it. Basically what we're going to be doing is 1 spell, 5 auras, basically, or 5 power-ups, or 5 abilities that just buff us. That's the correct word I'm looking for, is buffs. So we're going to be 1 spell, 5 buffs, and we're going to be going into the Frozen Wastelands here. I need to get to curse level 6 in order to unlock the Myrmidon. So that's currently what I'm working towards. And let's go ahead and jump in. So, I don't know, this is just kind of a fun build that I've been playing around with. It's been pretty consistent, and even at, you know, slightly higher curse levels, around, you know, 4 or 5, it's been doing a decent job at clearing it right around that 12-13 minute mark. You know, the fact that Arcane Missiles also builds up Radiance and is going to do this, like, laser beam that you see, basically kind of makes it so that we do have 2 attacks, even though we really only have 1. Now, you can see our Arcane Missiles just kind of, you know, fires off some missiles, and it automatically hits enemies, so we don't really have to aim it that much, which is really a positive factor. Now, what I'm going to do here is actually go down right into the corner to kind of trap everyone, get them all into one little area, be able to collect things a little bit easier, and yeah, we can start leveling up. So as far as what we're going to be taking here, I mean, none of these are really that good. I'm actually going to get rid of Powerful Strikes. We're going to be taking Leviathan instead for a little bit more damage. Don't really have a need for Expanse, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. I'm actually just going to take the move speed here just to kind of prep for taking Leviathan, which is going to give us more damage at a cost of movement speed. I do want to make sure that we are a little bit mobile. We're going to have a little bit more defensive capabilities because of the shield wall, or whatever it's called, from the Legionnaire, but yeah, let's go ahead and reroll these. There we go. So I'm going to lock in one of these. I'm going to lock in Bloodlust. That's going to be one of our buffs here. I'm going to start here with Arcane Power, which is going to give us a multicast chance. One of the things that's going to be important is to, and then we can take the Bloodlust here. So nice. Already have 2 of our buffs. That's a really nice start. And the fact that we don't have to spend a bunch of rerolls searching for them. We're also going to be looking for Might, which is going to increase our damage. And then, well, now we're going to be looking for 2 more. Because typically, in the past, I haven't had the additional buff. So I've kind of been going with a 2 or, well, there's Might. Perfect. We're going to have a bunch of different modifiers here to save for later on, which is going to be really nice. Let's take the buff potency, or yeah, we'll take the buff potency. We got another mana. We got a couple mana crystals. Let's go ahead and pick these up. Make our way back. Skill chain. Whenever you cast Arcane, yeah, we're gonna take this just so that way there's an additional chance that we can cast Might. As far as I've been able to tell, so it is a little hard to fully know like how many buffs you have on your character. There's no like UI where it shows like here you have 2 stacks of Might or whatever. You have to go into this menu and double check this. I believe you can cast these multiple times based on what I've been seeing. So I'm going to kind of go off that. So even if the duration is longer than the cooldown, I still kind of build into it. If that is completely wrong, please let me know. I haven't really done a lot of looking into it, to be completely honest, but I'm assuming that's the way it works. Now I'm going to just keep re-rolling here. I'm going to save my banishes for different skill modifiers. There, we can take the Lightning Surge now, which is going to increase our movement speed and also allow us to apply daze. Now, for the most part, this isn't going to matter with mobs. Mobs are going to die fairly quickly. We're going to take the critical damage. Yeah, we're going to take the critical damage because Lightning Surge increases our crit chance, so we can take that. I'm going to get rid of the Indomitable, though. I'm also going to get rid of Resilient. Yeah, we'll take the Merciless. And now we're really just looking for that last defensive buff, and then we're good to go. Our build's good. So like I said, in the past, what I've been doing is basically using these 3 buffs, and then I basically keep these 2 on and pick up 1 more skill. I'm going to take the... Yeah, I'll just take the Merciless over the multicast, right? Because Arcane Power is going to increase our multicasting ability. So I kind of want to focus on different buffs that we don't already have from these buffs. So I'm going to reroll a couple times. Arcane Sparks is one that I've played around with a little bit. Okay, there we go. Shield Wall. Perfect. So we can take Shield Wall, we can get rid of Arcane Explosion, and now we are good. Now we just need to worry about buffs. So once we get our next skill level up, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Cast Frequency. Yeah, let's go with Cast Frequency. Buff Potency. Yes, we want that. And yeah, Arcane Orb is one that I actually really like. If you don't have access to 5 different buffs, the Arcane Weaver only has access to the Arcane Power, Bloodlust, and Might. So if you want to try this build and you don't have the full abilities, Arcane Orb is one I have really liked playing. It gives you finesse, so it helps you out a little bit with that multicast. But other than that, we're going to go ahead and skip these now. Definitely going to get frequency on Might. I want to increase my damage a whole bunch. And we'll increase our cast frequency. That's going to be mighty helpful. And now we can kind of just... Oh, nice 20% damage modifier. Nice. We can kind of just stick in the corner here. And obviously we do have, you know, these rocks that we can kind of kite around if we need to. But, you know, for the most part, I mean, this first wave is always a little bit slower. We don't really have our damage online just yet. Let's see. Let's go ahead. So I'm going to get rid of the behemoth. I don't really care for our area modifier. Well, it's good if you're playing multiplayer, right? Because you can apply these to your buddies. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I'm gonna get the vicious strikes. Just be able to basically instantly crit any mobs that we come across, and just can clear them out a little bit faster. Obviously, it's not really gonna matter on the bosses too much, since the bosses were not really gonna be initially critting them a whole bunch. Go ahead and get the buff potency on Bloodlust. Let's grab the mana crystals. Got to be a little bit careful here. Like I said, our damage is still, it's a little bit slow going, so we're going to have to increase that over time here. And here we go. We can get more crit damage. Might actually take these guys into the open a little bit. Yeah, so you can see our speed is much different when we don't have Bloodlust up. Let's take the increased potency here. A little bit more cast speed. That's going to help out our damage. But I really got to get our multicast up. So I think at this point, let's go ahead and get rid of cast frequency. I do kind of want this. Let's also get rid of magnetic. We'll take the agile. Help our speed out when we don't have our bloodlust up while we're still working on that. Do I need the extra dash? I think I actually am going to take the extra dash for a little bit more mobility, especially for instances like that where you just got to kind of dash around. But this is going to be interesting because this is actually, like I said, this is the first time I've only played with one spell. In the past, I've been playing with 2 or 3 and kind of working my way up to kind of unlock these extra buffs. So I'll be curious to see how the damage actually works with only the one spell. We may even want to just get rid of the more defensive one, and maybe we want to play with just grab another spell, which I think we might actually do. We're gonna go ahead and lock 2 of these. We're gonna take the multicast chance. We're gonna end up picking up all of these. Okay, and we actually have our what is it? The mana crystal infusion here going on. So let's go ahead and lock another one of these. We'll pick up area of effect. Actually, that doesn't even matter because that was just on might, right? And then we'll pick up area of effect here. Yeah, I think we're going to lose this. I think I'm actually going to get rid of shield wall. I don't think we're actually going to need it. So I'm going to look for another ability after this. Let's go ahead and go for... I think I'm just going to go with... I think I'm going to get a little bit of crit chance. We do have the days. How much is that going to matter? Okay, let's get out of here. Grab these. Increase potency? Yeah, let's increase the potency. And then these I don't care about. Let's go grab Leviathan. Let's go damage increase. Grab these crystals. And buff duration. Yes, please. There we go. Okay, we're starting to get there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take this arcane orb for a little bit. We're gonna get rid of shield wall. I don't think it's gonna be that necessary, and I think this is gonna dramatically speed up our time going the 2 abilities and 4 buffs. Because you don't need the defense as long as you're not getting hit, right? Okay, let's take the... Ooh, we could take the cast frequency. I think... How are we doing on cast frequency here? Our cooldown is still a little bit longer than our duration, so let's go for, I'm gonna lock in the buff, the potency, and we're gonna go frequency for right now. All right, so now our cooldown is actually shorter than the duration, so we're actually having at least one stack of might up the entire time. And let's go ahead and lock in frequency, take potency. And we'll take the frequency, and then, oh, I got to turn off the active skills because we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, so let's skip active skills. Let's go. Don't really care about this skill chain. I do want to take a bunch of skill chains, but this one I don't really care that much about. Lightning Surge is kind of our least important one. I think our most important is probably either Might or Arcane Power. So those are kind of the two I'm focusing on. Bloodlust is pretty important as well. We're going to go ahead and increase the frequency in which we get mana crystals, though, so that way we can kind of pop that. That's also going to help out our damage quite a bit getting that. So if we actually hover over this, we can see basically when we get to full, we're getting a 20% damage modifier, 20% move speed, and 50% multi-cast. And let's just go ahead and actually let's get let's get crit damage. And let's get more crit damage. Might as well. We're going to be getting a bunch of stacks on these guys with the, what is it we're applying? It's Dazed. Dazed is the one that I'm thinking of. Oh boy, we got to be careful around here. So let's go ahead and get a damage modifier buff. Let's get out of there. Kite this guy around a little bit. There we go. One down. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's a big hit. Okay, we're good. Increase potency, attack speed. Yeah, let's just take the attack speed on Arcane Orb. That's another one down. And let's go Leviathan here for more damage, which Leviathan is going to be better now that we have two skills that it increases the damage on. We got a mana crystal up here. Grab that. And we should be good here. Let's go ahead and grab more crit damage. And there we go. Second wave down. 12 more to go. Let's grab more frequency here. Now, we might be getting to a point that it's going to be pretty... Yeah, I actually don't think we're even close to getting this under 12 minutes. That's okay. Getting it under 12 minutes is just to unlock the Chaos Portal. I think it might be... What is it? Is it under 15 minutes to get an Endless Portal? Now, based on my experimenting with both portals and kind of understanding why you would want to go to each portal... so basically the chaos levels, or the overlord levels, excuse me, are basically like kind of your boss rush style mode. Basically you go into an arena and you have to defeat elite mobs, and once you defeat enough elite mobs, then bosses will spawn, and the bosses will, you know, increase in difficulty over time, and it's just a little bit of a faster way to build up your corrupted soulstones, I believe. Now, Endless is a little bit different as far as I found. So basically, Endless basically pops you into another mode exactly like this. So it's going to basically drop you into another map. You have to take on the same bosses again, and you can do it wave after wave after wave and keep going through. I think that is just for... a little bit extra, let's go with the damage modifier here, a little bit extra materials, a little bit extra the minor soul stones, and, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Progress keeps coming in my head, but I know it's prestige. That's the one. I was like, I know it starts with a P. While both modes will give you more prestige, I'm honestly not sure if there's much of a difference between the two, except for... how you kind of want to play them yourself. Let's go ahead here and just get not the damage modifier, because it's going to do nothing to help our damage out. So let's go increase duration. Okay, dodge the fire, dodge the fire, dodge the fire. I think that this light beam is the most annoying boss attack in the game. It just like locks onto you and just follows you wherever you go. You just gotta stay out of its range and it's fine. But all right, what do we want to do here? I guess we're going Leviathan. Yeah, let's go Leviathan. Increase that damage. Stay alive here. We're pretty low on health. But we do get all that regen. Yum, 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 yum. We got one of our crystals, and now we should be good here to kind of smoke these guys. We do have a lot of mobs here who are eating a lot of our arcane missiles, so that is kind of a downside. All right, so let's go ahead. So we got multicast chance. We have, don't really care about this one, so we're just going to lock the 2 outside ones. Or we'll lock one of them, we'll take the other one. There we go, boss is down. As soon as, you know, the bosses kind of go down like dominoes, right? Once you take down one, the other ones are easy to go down. Then you take the second, the other 2 are easier to go down. Because otherwise, with an ability like this, your damage is kind of split up, right? We're shooting our missiles basically every which way. So we kind of can't control, you know, who we're hitting. But I like this build. It's kind of simple. It's pretty consistent. You don't really have to think of, you know, how to build it every time. You just go for the buffs. You just increase the buffs, and then they do their thing. They get quite powerful. And it's something that you can do kind of right from the start. Arcane Weaver is one of the earlier survivors that you have access to. And so it's one that you can kind of do kind of right off the start. You know, you can't, like, you're not going to be able to do the 1 spell 5 buffs, that's for sure, because you won't have access to them. But you will be able to do, you know, the 3 spell 3 buffs. That works, you know, just as fine. And then once you can start getting a 4th buff, then you can do the 2 spell 4 buff. Let's keep going crit damage. Just keep increasing that. Obviously, we're getting a bunch of crit. We don't really need a bunch of crit chance. We're kind of getting that from the lightning surge. While it's not as consistent as having like 100% crit chance. Just go ahead and get cast frequency on our main attack here. You know, and it's not going to matter all too much on the mobs, because the mobs are kind of going to die pretty quick. But on the bosses, we can get a bunch of daze stacks. And then over time, we can start critting them. I mean, we can take a little bit of crit chance. Why not? And that was more reflex than anything. I was like, ooh, green, click. And everything else was white. So I was like, you know what? We'll just do this. All right, really looking for mana crystals right now. Gonna grab the damage modifier. Just try and stack up. Okay, there's one. And that doesn't bring us to max just yet. Still need another one. Oh, there we go. Right in the middle there. Okay, unfortunately, we did take a lethal hit there. Let's go ahead and get the cast frequency. Get these built up. We did kill. Oh, okay. I did not mean to jump right into that. Well, now we're playing on a little bit of hard mode. Let's go. Yeah, damage increase. Now we do only have one more wave to go. We should be fine. Depends on the bosses, right? There are certain bosses that I do have more trouble fighting than others. But that was mostly my fault, walking straight into the boss's line of sight. Get out of there. Now, I'm going to try and build kind of close to the limit on... Yeah, so I'm going to try and not collect any more mana stones right yet. Let's go ahead and take the damage modifier and kind of save it, because we're almost... I guess we're halfway to the next boss wave, but I do want to wait and then hopefully pop it real quick when the bosses show up. Okay, so we do have our crystal up there. We also have a crystal there. Crystals do disappear over time, though, so it's not, it's not a perfect science. Let's go ahead and collect this. There we go. We'll just go ahead and collect some materials. Do we want the skill chain? I guess so. That gives us another chance to pop another Bloodlust. While it's a small chance, it is a chance. We like a chance over no chance. All right, another 40 enemies here, and then we have our boss wave. Yeah, so we didn't make that 12-minute mark, but we should definitely make that 15-minute mark, which, again, I'm pretty sure it's 15 minutes. All right, so let's go ahead, pop our mana here. Let's grab the Leviathan here, get out of that damage, grab some more mana, keep us nice and charged up. And there we go. Easy, easy peasy. Especially once we get that mana infusion off. Ooh, they die fast. And look at that. We can actually go right into Chaos, which we're going to go. This is the first time we've done it on the channel, so let's go. I keep saying Chaos because it's red. One thing also that I didn't realize, I've said it in previous videos, and I apparently was incorrect about this. So if you do complete the wave, basically I've said that if you jump into Overlord levels, and you're trying to unlock other curse levels, you can jump into Overlord or Endless, and it will still count, as you saw down there. So that's something that I was incorrect about in previous versions. We're going to go ahead and increase our chance for more Chaos. Now, with this build, I'm not exactly sure how many Chaos levels we're going to actually be able to do, because these do get quite challenging. And let's go ahead. Yeah, so for every of our arcane spells, which these are both arcane, we're going to increase the chance of casting Holy, which is going to give us more damage, which we're definitely going to need. Now, I got to find some more mana crystals here. There's one. Let's increase the frequency there. Let's go ahead and increase our damage modifier, increase our buff potency. And there we go. Just one boss left. And area modifier, don't care. Buff potency. Let's go. Let's go ahead and we can get rid of this as well. We don't need the mana infusion. We also don't need the multicast here. We'll just take we'll keep going on the Merciless here. And there we go. First wave down. We'll collect all those Soulstones. We'll go ahead and take Merciless again. And now, this is where these kinds of builds shine. So let's go ahead. Where are we at with frequency? Let's see. Cooldown, 6.5 seconds. Duration, 10 seconds. Okay, so we're actually doing okay there. I think we're just going to take the move speed. Allow us to dodge a little bit better. Especially in the small arena, right? This is where these kind of builds are probably going to shine their most. Because we can kind of just hit everything on the board with our attacks. And so they all just kind of die. Especially if you can increase, like, if you're doing an area build. Oh, boy. So we have damage, we have chance, which I don't necessarily care about this. I guess maybe I do. Yeah, we can just go ahead and honestly, well, that's not what I wanted to do. I end up losing the one that I actually wanted, but that's okay. That's all right. Because we're killing these guys pretty quickly here. We'll go ahead and take that one as well. Honestly, do I know if it does anything necessarily with this build? Not really, but we'll still take it. We'll take the uncommon Leviathan power, and look at that. Just melt the boss. So we're finally getting where we need to go. Let's go ahead and increase the frequency that these crystals appear. That I definitely will take. Multicast, yes, we will take that. We are taking a little bit of damage here. Got to be a little bit careful. Don't want to lose. We don't have any of our last hit protections here anymore. Buff potency, okay. Damage modifier. That's a pretty big damage modifier, honestly. This one's kind of... yeah, no. Cast frequency. Okay, we'll take the big damage modifier. We will take the cast frequency. There we go. 2 down. Take the Leviathan. Take the multicast. Take the... I'll take the skill chain. Another one down. We got one more to go. Increased potency. And boss down. Very nice. Very nice. Alright. We got, what is it, 2 waves left? 2 waves left. Shouldn't have too much problem getting through those 2 waves. damage modifier. Increase the damage of all your skills type of lasting. Right. So this isn't going to help arcane missiles. It would help arcane orb. I think we're just going to go with the increased potency on might. Ooh, multicast chance? Yes, please. Okay, got to get these infusions. One down, two down. Let's just go. Yeah, we'll get the buff potency. Oh boy, 3 down. I think that's 4. Okay, that is 4. We do get some regen here, which is sweet. We definitely need that. We were looking very, very scarce on our health. Let's take the... Yeah, we'll take more mana infusion, get that off a little bit more often. Multicast chance, sure. Increased potency for more multicast. Get out of there. Okay, we're good. We're good. I almost did something stupid and almost ran straight into that attack. Let's take the buff potency, and there we go. That is our first Overlord level. Let's go ahead and do another one and see how far we can get. Now, we do got to build up all our stacks again. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. We'll just kind of run around here, get our stuff going. Take more frequency. Take attack speed. Take, sure, cast frequency. Let's go. Now you can see the health pools are getting quite large. Doesn't really matter too much, though. Even when they're about 30 million, we're still absolutely smoking them. Now we have chance. Let's see. We have this chance. How many locks? I have a couple more locks. I think I'm just going to lock the Arcane to Holy, and we're going to take the multicast chance. And we'll take the buff potency. Yeah, because it's gonna basically do the same thing as the other one, cast frequency. Take the skill chain again. Collect up all our Soulstones. Let's take our let's go more damage. Okay, we are smoking these elites. They're going down very quickly. Let's keep our move speed up. Just keep going nice and fast. Just run around all these AoEs. Yep, watch out for that one. That one likes to lock onto you if you get too close. There we go, 2 down. Let's go damage modifier. Let's go more damage. There we go, 2 down. Let's go ahead and go buff potency. Back to beating up the elites. Let's go frequency on these crystals here. Ooh, legendary multicast? Yes, please. And we're back up to full health. I'm going to kind of stray towards the bottom of the screen so that way we don't pop that. The health. We can kind of save it for later. Or now. Because I walked into one of those bats. Oh boy. Let's go the 20% damage modifier. Let's pop that health. Grab that. Already take out 2 of the bosses, 1 of the bosses, and finally... Yeah, don't go near the fire. Don't go near the fire. Skill train, frequency. Let's go frequency. Leviathan, damage increase, no. Damage increase, yeah, that damage increase. And boss down. Nice. Sweet. Let's pick up our crystals. Let's go, cast frequency. Crit damage. Now, I'm looking for my mana crystals. Fortunately, we're a little bit under where we need to be to max those out and actually infuse everything. There we go. There's that attack that's always getting me. Always getting me good. There we go. So, didn't make it quite as far as I wanted to, but you can kind of see how the concept works. And I think it's quite fun. You know, it's a little bit different than been doing it in the past, stacking a bunch of different attacks. And I mean, 1.3 build, not too shabby. Arcane Orb right behind it in terms of damage. And so, yeah, of course, in doing all the different and of course, it does say defeat, but we at least made it through what we wanted to make it through. Now, you know, doing the Overlord, we also get a bunch of different crystals. We get a bunch of material too. And, you know, we only got to level 118, which actually is not that high. Typically, I didn't end up doing this time because we didn't really get any good options. And I think I actually might have banished it early on. Was the XP modifiers. Typically, I try and get some XP modifiers while I'm doing this type of run, which allows me to build up quite high. Like, typically, I get to around 200, right? So that's a lot of additional buffs. Helps you out with damage, helps you out with survivability. Now, in these earlier, if I was going to do that, then I could probably see dropping Arcane Orb, picking up that defensive power-up again, and basically allowing me to last a little bit longer, but we were kind of hurting for damage. It's definitely a little bit different, right? Because basically, compared to what I usually do with the 3 spells, 3 buffs, we obviously have a little bit less damage. Now, Lightning Surge is kind of okay. The downside to it, of course, being that you have to hit enemies to apply daze, which then increases your crit chance. There is a better version of this, which the Myrmidon has, which just flat increases your crit chance. I just don't have the Myrmidon yet. I'm still working towards it. And there's probably some other buffs on other characters, but like I said, these were just the ones that I was able to find and make it work. But obviously the concept can kind of work with other buffs and other spells. You know, try it and see what other spells are there that, you know, work better than this. Are there any that work better than this? If you find any, let me know. I'm still kind of experimenting around with different classes. Basically, once I start unlocking more runes, I think that there's going to be much more space to play around with. The runes are definitely seem like they open up a lot of gameplay and a lot of different builds, especially once you start getting these unlocked. So let's see, it was skill mastery. Yeah, so skill mastery, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna remove the electric here. Yeah, so we're gonna remove that, because if I add in here, so skill mastery allows you to select abilities that, or skills that you wouldn't typically have access to. But as you can see here, I have a lot of these locked, and a lot of them are just because I haven't unlocked the classes yet. But some of them, for example, like the Spellblade, I do have unlocked. I just have to go and actually unlock this. And so this is going to unlock a lot of different... oh, we unlocked this. This is new. What is this? You gain 1 extra reroll every 5 levels. That doesn't... I mean, that's okay. I don't know exactly where I would end up putting that in. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff to play around with here. And as you can see, you know, based on the earlier videos, it seemed like these Soulstones were a huge grind. But once you start getting up to these higher curse tiers and, you know, you're fighting 4 bosses at a time, they come a lot quicker. And if you do have a strong build and can go through Overlord, they definitely come a lot quicker. And then I would also save up, you're going to need a lot of minor Soulstones. One of the things that I was noticing as I was getting to the end of this center skill tree was that basically all the skills were using the corrupted Soulstones, and especially the red. Like I said, there seemed to be a little bit of a bottleneck there. There were a lot of red Soulstones, and the others were kind of mixed. But then as you start unlocking your favorite character's trees, basically like the first usually 3 levels, sometimes 4, is all minor soulstones. So you will need a lot of those. At a certain point, when you as you're going through this tree and it turns into all the corrupted soulstones, you're like, man, I have so many minor soulstones. What am I ever going to do with them? Trust me, you will need them. I've probably spent about 1 million leveling up the barbarian and the arcane weaver. I mean, I've had 1 million, spent them all, and now we're back up to around 300k. So yeah, they definitely go quick. Trust me. There's some that are really expensive, especially I think it might be the runes that are expensive. I think the first one might be like 30 and the other 2 are 60, but yeah, some of them can be pretty expensive. Don't let this fool you. It goes up pretty fast. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Guys, if you enjoyed the build, if you enjoyed the video, would you kindly smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more roguelike action. But for today, I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.